So Omega just released the 60th anniversary Bond Seamaster, and there's a few things that I really want to talk about. So I'm going to break down the trailer, see what I think of it during the reveal. After that, we'll talk about the specs, comparing this Seamaster with the current Omega Seamaster Professional and the Pierce Brosnan Seamaster. So I think it's going to be fun just to look at and compare all of them together, and maybe give a couple of my thoughts and opinions on the matter. But first, a wristwatch check. I am wearing my Omega Seamaster, and yes, I am wearing it on that stainless steel mesh bracelet. Steve, how did you get that mesh bracelet? I'm going to tell you. Don't worry about it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, and like this video. All right, let's hop into this trailer. Ooh, that wave dial. Right when I saw that wave dial, it looked really good. Oh my God, so many things to break down here. A couple of likes, a couple of dislikes. Ooh, that silhouette. Look at that silhouette. That's why they can't get rid of the helium escape valve. That is a nice case back. All right, so a few things to point out in that trailer, and we'll just go ahead and let's do a picture-in-picture and scrub through this entire video here. Boom, right off the bat, you can see that we're using the No Time to Die bracelet with that buckle. It feels great. I've been wearing this for about a week now, and it just feels so good. It just feels really good on the wrist. So, maybe better than the original bracelet. So right here at the bottom, we have a little bit of verbiage. We got coaxial master chronometer, 300 meter, 1,000 feet. Crisp, clear, looks good. It's fine. So here we have that unique case back that mimics the intro to the James Bond films where you're looking down the barrel of the gun. It's actually screwed in, held down by 7 screws. Beautiful exhibition case back, and we have diver 300 meter at the top, 60th, or I guess a 60 with 007 at the bottom there. Then it has those discs that are seen throughout the video. That very sharp case back. It definitely does take away a little bit from the movement itself, but overall, I really like this case back. So here's one thing that threw me a little bit when I first saw this watch, and it's the lack of pip on the bezel insert. They have a 60 right there, and I thought that's kind of odd, but then, it clicked. It's the 60th anniversary, so it makes sense why they got rid of that bezel pip. One thing I don't like about the seconds hand is that lollipop right at the end of the seconds hand. I really wish they would just leave that extension on there. I think it just looks cleaner. This image right here is why Omega will never get rid of the helium escape valve. Look at that silhouette. You know exactly which watch that is just by that silhouette right there. They're never going to get rid of that helium escape valve, and they never should. That right there is Omega's trademark for their Seamaster. So we can see from this angle that it is indeed a domed piece of sapphire, which plays into that vintage look. I'm on the fence. I have to see this in real life to see if I'm actually going to like it, or is it going to cause a little bit of reflection and refraction that I don't want. But it looks really good in product photos, I'll tell you that. So here we do have a fully loomed bezel. The 60 is loomed in green to match with that minutes hand, which you'll see on the Professional all the time. But we have a loomed bezel here, which loomed bezels, I'm kind of on the fence on. That's probably for a future video, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of loomed bezels. I think that it makes the watch look a little cheap, but whatever. They did it here. Now, if you like the No Time to Die Seamaster, you're going to like this one. It comes in stainless steel. It basically gets rid of all the faux patina stuff and puts it into a modern version. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Omega's website. So side by side, we have the Pierce Brosnan Seamaster on the left and the current 60th anniversary Seamaster on the right. And it just looks like a more refined piece. Like it looks like an evolution of a watch. And yeah, from the left, that wave dial translates pretty perfectly to the one on the right. They did a very good job mimicking that dial. So here we have the side-by-side of the current 300 meter Professional and the 60th anniversary. And you can tell a few differences just by looking at them. Obviously, the number one difference is that bracelet. I absolutely love the mesh bracelet. I think it fits very comfortably. I think you should buy it if you have the Professional, because it does add that little extra flair if you do want to dress the watch up. I just bought this and I wore it to a wedding, and it definitely does dress the watch up considerably. Another key difference here is you can tell that the domed sapphire on the right versus a flat piece of sapphire on the left. And looking at that 60th anniversary, aside from the lume pip being a 60, that bezel is also made out of aluminum versus the ceramic bezel on the professional. Now, both dials do offer wave patterns, although they're executed slightly differently. The professional has that ceramic dial with the laser engraved waves, and I believe the dial on the right is aluminum. I could be wrong, but I believe it's aluminum. So obviously it's not going to give that same light reflection as the current professional. The handset is pretty much the same aside from that seconds hand, which we've talked about, and there is no date window on the right. So if you could afford the Omega Seamaster 60th Anniversary Edition, why not buy it in Canopus Gold? I still prefer the one on the right, but if you had that extra money, why not buy it in gold? And how much does this cost? I got to contact the boutique. This one, once again, $7,600. Let's do a comparison on the back here. This comes with the caliber 8807. I believe the only difference is the gold accents here. Gold rotor and bridge there versus just your standard stainless steel. I'm pretty sure everything else is identical. So you love the way the 60th anniversary Bond watch looks, but you already have a Seamaster in your collection. Well, Omega has you covered. For $720, you yourself can buy it, if you can find it, because they do have a 19 millimeter option. They have a 20 millimeter option, a 21 millimeter option, and a 22 millimeter option. And the biggest issue is that the 20 millimeter option is out of stock. Now, my theory is that Omega knew this watch was coming out, and they decided to pool their inventory of 20 millimeter straps to put on the Bond watch. So you may have to wait a little bit or check a secondary website like eBay or Chrono24 where they sell this type of stuff. But, you know, if you want it, you want it. I like it, and I recommend it to everyone that owns a Seamaster. So there you have it, the Bond 60th Anniversary Seamaster. It's really up to you on, do you think it's worth the premium of $2,200 over the current 300 meter professional? Now, if I were to buy the Bond Seamaster, I would also need to buy the tank style bracelet just because I like the way that bracelet feels. It's just much more of a rugged feeling to it. In my opinion, I would just buy the mesh strap. And maybe you don't like blue, maybe you like green, maybe you like black, maybe you like white. At least if you have the mesh strap, it's going to give you that same look that the Bond watch kind of looks like. And if you have no affiliation with Bond or you don't care about Bond at all, then obviously this is not the watch for you. But I'm excited to go to the boutique and actually see this in the flesh and then form a better opinion and maybe possibly give a review. But that's neither here nor there. I like this. It definitely has its own flair to it. It's similar to No Time to Die, but in stainless steel. All right, guys, that's the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon, hit the like button. Go ahead and click on one of these videos if you're interested in watching more of my content, which you should be. I don't know why you're not. And don't forget to leave a comment. What do you think about the Bond watch? I'm excited to see what you guys think about it. All right, catch you guys later.